number right now. Today we have a very different show today, and today Mr. Malik has with him Tom, who is also joining us this evening, and he is a paralegal with Mr. Malik, and we will see what we have here to discuss.
Doing wonderful. Very happy to be here. I have Tom here with me, and we have a little bit of a different show today. We want to provide some information for our community members and listeners, and so I'm going to let Tom take the lead and get into that right away without wasting any further time.
Awesome. Welcome, Tom. Glad to have you on the airwaves of FunAsia Radio.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Welcome. So what do we talk today?
So we're going to talk a little bit about expectation management when people come in for their initial consultations. As we all know, Mr. Malik has been a valuable resource for the FunAsia community for the last 5 years. Mr. Malik, can you tell us some of the issues that you have when people come in for their initial consultations?
Yes, Tom, if you're talking about legal issues, we get a lot of clients from all walks of life, various different backgrounds, with all kinds of legal issues. For example, we have people come in for family law, divorce, child custody, spousal maintenance, or other property issues when a family relationship is concerned. We also get parents to come and contact us when there is CPS involved and they're trying to take away the rights of parents and want to take their kids away, and there's some kind of a issue there. We also have women coming to our office when there's issues with domestic violence, and we definitely have our immigration services that are provided to people from all different countries of the world who want to come to the United States, our wonderful country, and want to reside here, settle here, or if they've been living here, want to become, finally take the final step and become a U.S. citizen.
Wonderful.
Do some people, when they come in, do you think they have maybe questionable motives when they come in for their initial consultations?
Very seldom it does happen, Tom. I think it's a mixture of things. Sometimes people have questionable motive because they may be sent by some of our competitors or people who may not like what they hear or the kind of work that we provide. There's obviously those people who are anti-immigrant and don't like immigrants in general, and sometimes people come in with the wrong kind of expectation. For example, we are a law firm, and as law firm, we are a service provider, which means that it is a business and we're here to help you, but at the same time, we have to pay our bills as well, which means that we have to pay the rent, we have to pay the payroll of our employees, and so forth. But, people come and they expect us to maybe, in a consultation, do all of the work that we do in taking on a case. For example, I'll give you an example. I've had people who would complete their citizenship application forms, and they will come for a 30-minute consultation, and they'll say, well, look, we don't want to hire you. We've already filled out our form. I want you to look it over and tell me if everything is good. And that's my 30 minutes. Well, I'm sorry. It's going to sound rude, but that's not the service we provide. We are a service provider. Obviously, we want to make a living. We're not going to do that in 60 minutes and maybe for $50 what attorneys charge maybe $2,500 to $3,000 to do. That's unfair to us. And so people have the wrong expectation when they come in the consultation. That's what we mean by having the wrong expectation and to manage it.
I definitely could see how that could work out, especially when it comes to immigration. I could see that would be a specific case. What are some ways that can hurt your business? Do some of these people do things maybe after they leave the office?
Yeah, so as you know, and we've talked with Navneeta, and Navneeta can talk about that a little bit as well from her experience. When people come in with the wrong expectation and they don't get what they're asking for, they're not getting the answers that maybe they want to hear. For example, I have people coming in, they want me to do something illegal. Like, for example, they want want me to file an asylum case when they really do not have a life-threatening situation in their country just because they want to live here. So I flat out tell people I'm not going to file a frivolous application. And so, people get upset because now they may not have a way to stay in this country, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to do something illegal just because you want to stay here. So when people don't get the answers they're looking for in the couple of examples that I've given you and many others, then people try to hurt us by leaving a bad review. And, in this age of social media, Tom, as you know, what is it going to take? I mean, you're going to go on my website or on the Google business pages of our company and go write whatever you want, and there is no ramification for you, but you are going to hurt not only our business, the people who have legitimate problems, they're going to go and read those reviews, and in today's day and age people do, and then what happens is they take this wrong information from this wrong person, and they may think that we're not providing them with good service, where it is exactly the opposite. These people are not even our clients. These people come in for a consultation, and by paying a few dollars, they think they own you. They want to get whatever they want to get. And if they don't get that, then they get upset. I mean, and they get so sensitive, and, everything nowadays is, service-oriented with social media because, you know what? I can threat him, and I'm going to tell him that I'm going to tell the whole world what a bad attorney or what a bad business or what a bad service provider he is. And if he doesn't do what I ask him to do, that's the ammunition that I have.
Well, I think that's a good segue. Right now, we're requesting that all the dedicated listeners of the Legal Segment show with attorney Adam Malik, who has been serving the FunAsia community for the last 5 years, it's time to pass it forward and help other community members. So here's what we're asking. If Mr. Malik directly or through his radio show has helped you, please take out your phone right now and give him a 5-star rating on Google. Just say how he has helped you, through the radio, through a consultation, helped a family member perhaps, or he has handled a case for you, whatever the case may be. It's time to let the community know about your wonderful experience with Mr. Malik, and we can maybe mitigate some of these bad reviews that people who are unjustifiably upset because they're not getting the answer they're looking for. We need you to do this right now. Please take out your phone and Google Malik&Associates in Carrollton, Texas. Please make sure that you're leaving a review for Mr. Adam Malik, as there are other attorneys in the area with the same last name. So go ahead, please Google Malik&Associates.
Wonderful, Tom. That's a great initiative right here, right now, because I've been hosting Mr. Malik, and I know whenever he's not there, the callers, the amount of calls that we receive, and there's not a low moment out here in our studio, and I know Mr. Malik does a great job helping people out with all those questions that are asked here on the airwaves. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this, Mr. Malik. I just came to know. And
no,
these
it's not that we're going through this. I mean, every now and then, if you go and you look at our reviews, we mostly everybody gives us a 5-star review. There's some random people.
And we had also
don't
callers, I remember.
Right. I mean, you know that we get callers, for example, to quickly answer what you're saying, who call and thank us continuously for the service that we provide the community. You have personally witnessed that. So all we're asking is that in the last 5 years that we've been doing this radio show, in those 5 years, if you have talked to me on the radio, if you have come to my office and had a consultation with me, and if you've had a good, satisfying experience where we were able to help you, guide you, even if you hired us or didn't hire us, but we gave you some information that was beneficial, even if that means that we were not able to take your case and tell you, hey, your case is not qualified, that is still good information because you don't have to waste your time and money in pursuing something that is not going to happen. So if we've done that for you, what we're asking you to do is please let the other community members know by going online and leaving a review right now. Take out your phone, go to Google and search my name, Attorney Adam Malik, and leave a review on our Google pages. Well, I mean, look, Navneeta and Tom, I'm not asking people to leave fake reviews. What I'm asking people to do is if you have contacted me and talked to me, which I talk to people all the time and hundreds of thousands of people over the last 5 years.
Okay. Do you think that within our day and age of social media, And this profession where we're not only service-oriented, we're here to provide a service to the customers, but we're also legal professionals where you have to be ethical. Do you think that conflict is particular to this industry?
You know, it can be, Tom, because look, when somebody goes and writes something bad, for example, and they've come to my office and they've discussed a legal issue, it is my ethical obligation to protect them. I am not going to go and respond to something that, hey, you were asking me to do something illegal or protect you with something that was illegal. I can't do that because I'm an attorney. Everything that you tell me is supposed to be attorney-client privilege. So here I am protecting you, but you're bad-mouthing me. So my hands are tied, so I am unable to protect myself. And that is something that, you know, attorneys have to deal with. But, you know, then we have wonderful community members who are out there to help us, out there to support us. And I know that because on Navneeta's show, many times people call from the community. They don't have a question, and they say, well, we're only calling to say thank you, Mr. Malik, for providing this service to the community. And Navneeta can tell you about that.
Yeah, totally. I can totally say that because I've been the RJ and these calls have happened. And many times it has happened. And they just do say, today I don't have a question, but I want to thank Mr. Malik for the service he provides to the community. And I'm sure you do it wonderfully. I've also witnessed that and all the help that you provide, and so patiently you answer all those questions as well, which is indeed a brilliant way of really helping the community.
Yes, for our listeners who've just joined us, we're trying to have you all reach out and support your FunAsia community. As we know, attorney Adam Malik has been a supporter of the community for the last 5 years, and now we're asking you to pay it forward. So here's what we're asking. If Mr. Malik has directly or through his radio show helped you, please take out your phone right now and give him a 5-star rating on Google. Just say how he has helped you through the radio, through a consultation. He's helped a family member. He's helped handle a case for you, whatever the case may be. It's time to let the community know how he's helped you and what a wonderful experience you've had with Mr. Malik.
So 972-235-5555 is the studio number, and the place to go is Malik&Associates. Google rating right now 5 stars. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for calling in. The first question is, if your I-94 does not show up on the government's website online, because it's still showing your history of travel into the United States from the past and not the most current one, what are you supposed to do? Well, there is an email that is associated with I-94 corrections, and it is to the CBP, which is Customs and Border Protection. You can email them, and you can Google that information on CBP's website, and you can email them and let them know that the correct I-94 does not appear on the website and you're looking for that correction, and they will make that update if there is such information available. Well, I mean, look, I mean, Navneeta and Tom, I mean, I'm not asking people to leave fake reviews. What I'm asking people to do is, if you have contacted me and talked to me, which I talk to people all the time, and hundreds of thousands of people over the last 5 years, to them. Now, answering your second question, if you have an I-140 approved and your visa is current, it has to be that your visa is current. Then you are able to file your adjustment of status, which is the 485 form, after 90 days of being here in the United States. The dependents or derivative individuals can only file once the principal individual has already filed, or they can file them together, but you cannot have the derivative file first and then the principal file later. That would not work. So I hope that answers all of your questions that you asked. Thank you very much for being a listener, and we'll go to the next question. Okay, so the question is, if a refugee comes to the United States and they have finally become a U.S. citizen, their children to become citizens as well, they need birth certificates, and the gentleman is saying that they do not have their birth certificates as their refugees, and they don't have any documents from their country, and maybe they're unable to get the document. So first of all, you need to understand, when parents apply for citizenship and their minor children who are under the age of 18 but are permanent residents, anybody who's under the age of 18 cannot apply for citizenship. You have to be 18. But if your parents apply and both of your parents become citizens, or even one of them, and you're living together with both parents, meaning that the parents have not been divorced, you automatically, meaning the child, the underage child automatically becomes a U.S. citizen on the day the parent one of the parents become a U.S. citizen under those circumstances. So, sir, your children are already U.S. citizens. It is only a matter of getting the passport or the documentation to prove it. The citizenship is automatic. So the kids are already U.S. citizens. Just understand that this is just to get the document to show the proof of that citizenship, meaning the passport. So if the passport office requires a birth certificate and you don't have the birth certificate, that is going to be a problem. And what you can do, and possibly, again, I don't know how the government would react to something like this. This is what you could do and find out. You can apply for the citizenship certificate. So instead of applying for the naturalization, because the kids are already U.S. citizens, you can apply for obtaining a citizenship certificate, and that's done through using the form N-600. Now, the government may ask copies of birth certificates, and that's usually to prove that they are your children. And if you are unable to provide them copies of the birth certificates, then maybe perhaps you can do a DNA testing to show that they still are your children, but they're going to want some proof of age, because only if they were under the age of 18 would they become U.S. citizens. Now, that is the burden of proof that's on you, and you have to show the government that the kids were under the age of 18. Worst case scenario, if that doesn't work out, worst case scenario is that they can eventually, when they turn 18, they can apply for naturalization. But I don't recommend that, because technically, when you're already a U.S. citizen, you cannot become naturalized again. So that would be going against the law. So I would recommend that you apply for getting a citizenship certificate through N-600 and ask the government to help you, because you are a refugee and you do not have the birth certificate. I hope that answers your question. I wish you all the best with that situation.
Taking my next caller on air. Welcome. Good evening. Financial Radio. You are live on air. Your question for Mr. Malik, please.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, thank you for providing this service.
Ed.
So my question is, I got my citizenship through normal process, and since my kids were below 18 years, I could get their passport, and as you explained there, that they become citizens as well. Few of my colleagues were asking me to file, even though my kids got citizenship, they were asking me to file the N-600 to get naturalization for kids. Is that still mandatory, or getting them just the passport, that's enough proof for citizenship? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Please
you very
listen.
much, sir. I will answer your question off here. Sorry, Navneeta, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
Sir, first of all, just to clarify, N-600 is not a form to naturalize kids. It is to get the citizenship certificate. When you're automatically a citizen through your parents or derivative status, you can get that certificate by doing or filing N-600. That does not naturalize kids. So first of all, if your children are already a U.S. citizen, they're already a U.S. citizen. You do not need to do N-600. It is not a requirement. It is not mandatory to have them become citizens. They're already United States citizens. Now, there will be times when a citizenship certificate might be needed. For example, if they join the military, if they go and to college and want a student loan, or they go apply for a federal job. In the future, they might need that certificate. But outside of those specific reasons, you don't really need the N-600 filing to get the certificate. The passport is proof of their United States citizenship. That is enough. You don't really need to do that. I recommend people to get the certificate because it is helpful to have it, because you can get it done and there's no issues. If you have a problem later, you can quickly whip it out and take care of business, but it is not required. I hope that answers the question. I wish you all the best.
Well, how is the day with the consultation usually look like? What do you do when you provide consultation?
Well, Navneeta, the days we have consultation, we are super busy. The day is booked back to back. I mean, because we have tons of people calling our office every day. We have a lot of people seeking help and advice, which we're happy to and gladly provide. I mean, that's what we were talking about. As long as people have the correct expectation, we're happy to take care of them, because it is very important to have a realistic expectation when meeting an attorney and going into a consultation, as we were talking about earlier. And if people have missed our conversation, they can definitely go to your app and they can look at listen to the whole show at their own pace. Okay? And to all of our listeners, thank you very much for the support that the community has given us, and we are here to support the community. And thank you, Tom, for joining us today, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for
Thank
having me.
you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mr. Malik. Have a wonderful evening and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was Mr. Malik on FunAsia Radio. The number to call his office is 214-881-2100. And we are taking a short break. Break के बाद मिलते हैं कुछ और गानों के साथ और बातों के साथ. मिलते हैं नमिता के साथ.